So you got some D2, D3 kind of looks?
Yeah.
Okay, but you decided not to take them?
No.
What'd you do instead?
I decided that I was going to go to Michigan State University and focus on my academics. I enrolled as a mechanical engineer major. It's never really been my goal, growing up and things like that, to be a professional athlete or anything like that. So, I always, well, not always, but at that point, academics were very important, and I knew that, without a strong academic background, that nothing would really come about. So I decided to go to Michigan State and walk on. I felt that if I couldn't play with the best of them, I really didn't want to play at all. So I figured I'd just go ahead and give it a shot.
Exactly. So you're going there, you're going to pursue an engineering career, okay? Now at this point, you're pretty seriously dating this girl over here who's going to Western, right? Okay? And when he's going to school and he's thinking he's going to go into engineering, that's probably cool. He wants to walk on and play. What did you feel about Travis's goal to walk on at Michigan State and try to make the football team?
I felt confident that he could play.
Okay.
I said give it a shot. You'll never know if you can't do it, or can do it until you try. So I was supportive in that decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how easy is it to walk on at Michigan State? That cannot be an easy thing to do. I mean, Elkins could do it. But I mean,
seriously, he joked around about being athletic and stuff like that, but he probably had the best 3-point shot out of a lot of guys that I've known.
Yeah, well, I've seen the 3-point shot, and I don't believe
it. But I was preparing myself. Actually, when I first got on campus, I went to the football building and things like that. And they told me it was too late. I had already missed the date for walking on in the fall. So they told me I had to sit out that fall, and I could come back and have a chance to walk on in January. So I just used that whole first semester to get acclimated to the college life, to the social life, everything that goes along with being away from home and at a big university. And I worked out. I trained every day. I ran. I was at the intramural buildings, lifting weights.
So you were training like, I am going to get on this team. Exactly. I'm going to do all the work, even though you had no scholarship, no promise of anything.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I just knew that the opportunity would come, and it was up to me to be prepared for it. So I just took every free moment that I had, and I focused on that.
Okay, and the opportunity came.
The opportunity.
How did that unfold?
Like I said, when I first got on campus, she told me that I had missed the date, so she took my email address, and she said, I'll email you in January when we come back from Christmas break and let you know the dates and everything for the next tryout. I was thinking that she was just really trying to get rid of me. Assuming that a lot of guys come in every day and dreams of playing in Big Ten University and things like that. So I'm like, all right, she's not gonna get in contact with me. So I gave her my email address, and sure enough, when I came back from winter break, she sent me an email, and I showed up and did my best, and I was blessed enough to be able to.
Now, how many people were there then in this January walk-on trial? How many people actually came to that?
It was about between 50 to 60 people.
Okay, 50 or 60, and of that 50 or 60, how many were even given an opportunity to try to go farther than that? 2.
They kept me and a punter.
So you and then another guy who's not a real football player. You're a real football player.
Those are not my words. That's the context that you used.
Okay, so when they said they want you and this punter to come back, then was that like a guarantee you're on the team now?
No. They made it very clear that this was just the first step. You shined. You showed us some athletic abilities, and with the drills and everything that we put you through. So we're going to give you an opportunity to come back and go through the winter conditioning period, and then spring ball. If you make it through the winter conditioning period, show that you're tough enough to make it and compete with these guys who invite you back to spring ball. And then after, once we get on the field, do field work, when you show that you can compete on this level, we'll invite you back to fall camp. And, from there, same situation, you got to go through fall camp and prove that you're capable.
Wow. So you had hoop after hoop after hoop you had to go through with no promise whatsoever.
Exactly.
So you're working like crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming this is taking hours and hours a day.
Yeah.
just all physical, mental stuff, in addition to Michigan State and the academics there. So you're doing all that just with the promise. Were you like worried that this whole thing may not work out?
You know, I was never really nervous about it, man.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I don't get nervous about much. I don't
Do
worry
you
about
get
much.
nervous about stuff?
Yes.
Were you worried that all this time wasn't going to work out?
Yes, my middle name should be Worried.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I was worried that he's putting in all this effort, and what if nothing comes of it?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's nerve-wracking and hard.
It is tough because you realize there's no guarantee at all. And I kind of understand it's not as though like the coaching staff is looking at you going, dude, you got a lot, you're going to be okay.
Oh no. You know, when they brought me in, I can tell that the mindset was really, he's a little athletic, he can play. Bring him in, he'll be a scout team guy, help us out. That was pretty much it.
And the way things turned out, you actually initially were allowed to be part of that scout team. Is that how that was?
Yep. You know,
Okay.
my first year, made it through fall camp, and about the first 4 or 5 games of the season, I was just strictly scout team guy. And then I was able to, we keep around 100 guys on the team, but we only travel 75 guys. We only dress 75 guys for each game. So you got to be either in special teams depth chart or offensive or defensive depth chart to make that 75.
Right.
Like I said, I was strictly just special team guy the first quarter of the season, and I was able to move my way up just through my work ethic and things like that in practice to getting on a few special teams.
Okay, so now you're on the travel squad. You get the dress, right? You got the green and white going on.
Finally run out of the tunnel.
Running out of the tunnel.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
yeah.
Pretty cool the first time?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
amazing.
Absolutely. Okay, so now you're playing on special teams, and that's kind of where you ended your first year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you're of course you're doing this all as a walk-on.
Exactly.
At what point did they say, dude, we got to start giving you some money because you are good? When did they do that?
Actually, after that season.
Okay.
After that season, they called me in, and my coach, he said, we got a few extra dollars, a few extra scholarship dollars, and things like that, and you've proven yourself capable, so we're gonna bless you with this money.
Yeah. So now you've made the team. Now you're getting some money. Now you're not worrying so much, right? On the team, little funds coming in.
Yep.
You go through school. Okay,
Yep.
that sort of thing going on. And so now that you're on the travel squad, you've got your scholarship. It must be like worry's over, right?
No.
Secure? No. What was it like at that point?
I just went at it with the same mindset that I had when I came in. I knew that I had to work out hard every single day. That's really what's gotten me to this point today. Just my work ethic. I know that I'm not going to let anyone outwork me. You might be a better athlete, you might be faster, you might be stronger, but you might be a little bigger. Believe it or not. I'm not going to let you outwork me, and that's really been my edge this whole time.
Right.
And so I took that same mindset going into that second year, and like I said, their expectations was probably just special team, scout team player, but I wanted to, if I was going to spend all of this time and invest all this time and effort, I wanted to play, and I wanted to start and do it all. And I felt that I had the ability to do it. It was just about being prepared when that opportunity came.
So you're in your second year now playing. You're now a scholarship athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the depth chart for defensive back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy ahead of you, like halfway or past halfway of the season, he gets hurt. How did that story go? He gets hurt?
Well, actually, this was my junior year. My whole sophomore year, I just played special teams.
Okay.
Strictly special teams. I was on the depth chart, the defensive back, but I didn't have one defensive snap. So the grind mindset continued throughout that whole year. And in my junior year, halfway through, the safety that was in front of me, he hurt his knee Wednesday in practice. And in college, Thursday is the end of the practice week.
Okay.
Everything is in. You know what's going on. You know who's playing. You know how much you're playing. You know everything by Thursday. So Wednesday after practice, this guy, he's hurt. He can barely walk. Coaches are freaking out. It's like we don't know what we're gonna do.
So they weren't going, don't worry, we got Travis to back him up.